Okay, hi all, good evening. Uh, so maybe other folks will be joining on the line. So the agenda of this session is transition from non-IT to IT. I want the session to be interactive. Hope my voice is audible, right?
Yeah, what do you want?
Okay, okay, sure. So I have taken this session. The reason is multiple folks, either they are from my Technist Academy or the external participants. So whenever I communicate with them, okay, like sometimes they will ask me the question that then we what are the skill sets required to enter into the IT industry, or what are the skill sets required to work as a data analyst or data engineer. So what I have observed is a lot of misconceptions, a lot of confusion is there. Okay. So that is why I thought that to take this session, and hopefully this will help you a lot in your interview process. Okay, that is the agenda, and I'm sure this 1 hour is not sufficient to convey all the important points which I want. Okay, and I will request you all to make the session interactive. Ask the questions if you have any. First of all, the first misconception: whenever you guys look at a JD, okay. The session is getting recorded. Just a minute, let me check. Okay, yeah. Whenever you will look at a JD, most of you will not apply for it. Do you know why? Any idea? Anyone? Why you don't apply for that
Because,
job profile?
because along with SQL, sometimes there are other technologies are also are like Python, AWS, Azure, and SSMS, SSI, anything other technologies are also there.
Okay, okay. Okay. You see, you have to be very frank with me. Okay. Teacher and doctors. Okay. So you have to be very frank with them until and unless we don't know what is the problem, how we can find the solution. So don't worry about that. And that is why I have not shared this invite with any external participants. Many of them has requested. So that's why I kept it for the Techless Academy participants only. Okay. So be frank with me. Don't worry. No one knows here anyone else. Okay. So don't worry about that. See, I have been in the recruitment team for Infosys, for Fidelity, for many other companies, Fidelity Investment, Fidelity International. So when we can I request you guys to go on mute? Keep muted 1 minute. Mute all. Okay. So when we take interview, so before the interview process, we get certain guidelines. 1 minute. This WhatsApp is just again. Let me close this window. Okay. So when we take this interview, so we take certain means 1 minute. Yeah. So our director, the project manager, the program manager, we all have a session. Okay. So they will tell you that I'm telling the internal things, how it happens. Okay. So listen very carefully because a lot of misconception you guys have. So we have a session with them. So they will tell us what is the requirement and how urgent the requirement is, to what extent we have to filter the candidate, what level of question we have to ask. Okay, so all these guidelines we will get from the top shot guys. Okay, sometimes I know many of the things will be very new to you because maybe earlier you might have not interacted with someone who is from the recruitment team. Okay, you have different perception. I know that because I have crossed that era. I know that many times when there is an urgent requirement in a company, okay, especially in service-based company. You know, like in service-based company, you all have heard that TCS, Infosys. Then I will come to that product business. I will tell you the pros and cons because I have worked in both the companies, service based and product based, and all those things. So in service-based company, you all might have heard that this TCS, Cognizant, or Capgemini, Wipro, and all those things, they have to keep at least what I can say, like 20% bench strength. I think you all will agree with me, right? If you don't know, then it is fine. But this is the fact, at least 10 to 20% bench strength they have to keep. How many of you know this? Can you raise your hand?
No, I'm not aware about
Nobody
this.
knows.
Not aware
Not
about.
Oh,
aware.
nobody knows. Oh, nobody knows. Okay, may I know how many of you have more than 5 years of experience in IT industry? Can you raise your hand? Only two. Okay, fine. You
Me
can.
also.
Okay, fine, got it. Okay, okay. How many of you have never worked in IT industry? Can you raise your hand, please? Never worked in IT industry. You're preparing to enter the IT industry. Okay, one, two. Okay,
Me too,
fine.
Tanvir.
Okay, four, five. Okay, fine, 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 fine. Got it, got it. Now see. Okay, fine. No, okay, got it, got it. Thanks, thanks for the response. Now see, each and every service-based company, okay, like a famous one, TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, Capgemini, Accenture, and many other companies are there. They have to keep 20% bench strength, 10 to 20%. Okay, bench strength means, suppose if they have total 100 employees, I'm showing you the smaller number to make you understand this picture. Okay, if there are total 100 employees in their company, so it means 10 employees or 15, this number will be on bench. Bench means they will not be having any project at all. When I joined Infosys in 2011, one of my friend was not having any project for the next 2 years when he joined, and he was happy with that because he was preparing for the CAT exam. Okay, so net, the service-based companies, they have to keep 10% of their strength on the bench. Now you might be thinking that why is it so, right? This sounds weird that they're just keeping on bench, they're not taking any task, any work, and they are giving them salary free of cost, right? No, it is the compulsion. You might be thinking the reason. The reason is whenever they get some big clients, okay, like BofA, Bank of America, Citibank, Reebok, Boeing, okay, the big clients who are operating out of US, UK, or Europe, okay. So they will, when they will give you the project, okay, to handle the project, most of the service-based companies, you know, like they serve, they work on the software, they cater to the requirements of some client, right? Like like your IRCTC, right? Who has worked on the IRCTC software? Do you know that? Anyone?
Yes.
Infosys, I guess.
T- TCS,
Yes.
correct. TCS, yeah, you're right. Income tax software. Who has created that? Any idea? Income tax.
Infosys. Infosys.
Process, yeah. Right now, I think 6 months back it was a news. Okay, so they cater to all these requirements of the big firms. Okay, so suppose Citibank, I was working in the Citibank long back. So when Citibank will visit your campus for the project, suppose if they want to give some project or if they have some proposal. So first of all, they will check your total strength. Okay, suppose you have 100 employees. Okay, and suppose 30 employees or 20 employees are required for their project. So a company ABC, they will tell that, okay, I have 100 employees, we will allocate 20 employees for your project. Okay, that is fine. But then Citibank will ask that company ABC that, okay, fine, you have, suppose they approached me, okay, that then we're okay, fine. You have 20 employees, you can allocate them to work for my project. But then we tell me one thing. Tomorrow I got some more project, or the work increased. Maybe they started their operation in some new country. So Tanvir, in that case, suppose if I want 5 more employees, so will you be able to cater to that requirement? Okay. So in those cases, the service-based company, they have to showcase that yes, we have 10% employees who are on bench. If the demand increases, we have that workforce, we can allocate them. Is this calculation clear? So that is why all the service-based company, they have to keep 10% bench strength. It is almost mandatory for them. So that is why you might have heard a few of your friends will be on bench for 2 months, 3 months, and all those things. And this bench story, it happens only with the service-based company. Hope it is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is common. You can check it. If your friend is working in any of the service-based company, after this session, you call them and ask this calculation. They will tell that yes, we have certain percentage. They have to keep it. Okay, this is the rule. All the service-based company. And that is the other thing, that they will allocate them in some internal project of the company, like in the HR database or some blah 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 thing. That is a different thing. But net 10% strength has to be on bench. But suppose sometime, okay, the company Citibank told me that Tanvir, right now, 20 of your resources are working for this project. Now I'm starting my operation in Australia. So I want 10 more. Okay. And I have only 5 resources currently available. It means I need 5 more, correct? Correct, no? You are getting this calculation or not, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so I need 5 more. And I want them urgently. Otherwise, I will not get that project. It's a very stiff competition. I have seen all these things. A lot of stiff competitions are there. Okay. So city will tell that Tanvir, I need 10 more. So I will not tell them that I have only 5 as of now. I will tell them that yes, I have 10. I will allocate that in the projects, because generally the project, it takes around 1 or 2 months to start, because a lot of things will happen before that. That is strategy document, requirement gathering, requirement analysis, the planning, the test planning, test strategy. A lot of thing goes on. So I'll be getting 1 month time. Now, if I am the senior director, what I will do, I will schedule a call, an emergency meeting with the recruitment team and the project managers. I will tell them that, okay, I need 5 resources on an urgent basis. Otherwise, we will lose this important project from this important, very important client. Okay. Now I will do, now my product manager will do all the calculations, the pricing part. And suppose he finalized that, then we can give suppose 20 LPA, okay, to each of the candidate. Are you getting this calculation? Okay. 20 LPA we can give to each of the resource. Generally, there is a margin of 4:1. It means if the company is giving you 20 LPA, it means company is earning 70 to 80 LPA from you. Maybe you are surprised, but this is what happens. I remember in 2010 or 9, it was published in the front page of Times of India as well. So this is the calculation. If they are giving you 1 rupee, it means the company is earning 4 rupees from you, 4 or 5 rupees, like that. Okay, so that is why you can understand this. When the company will send you on site, so they pay you almost 3 times of what you are earning in India. Correct? If your friend, right now, my friend who was in India, okay, he was working for TCS. He moved to US. Okay, TCS sent him to US. Okay, he was working on the job profile. Then from the TCS, he jumped to some other company, and right now his package is 1 CR LPA. Sorry, 1 CR annually. Okay, so that happens. That's why I tell that recruitment is a very big political process. Okay, it's a big politics. You should know that. Why I'm telling all this story, you should understand that what happens internally. Now, the director, the product manager told that, okay, 20 LPA we can give. Okay. Now, the recruitment team will prepare a JD and they will publish in the Naukri.com or LinkedIn here and there. And they will start searching like anything. The same thing happens in 2022 in the second and no, 2022 first, second quarter, and third quarter. Almost the same thing was there. A lot of job opportunities were there in the market. But again, that was a big scam. I will tell you each and everything. And you can cross verify this, all these things. Even when I teach SQL, I always tell, challenge it, ask it, break the system, then it will be more stronger. Okay. So now the HR, the recruitment team, they will be very active on Naukri and then LinkedIn. They will call each and every candidate. They will ask blah blah blah. Okay. Now, finally, for 20 LPA, they're not getting the resource what they want. Okay. So they will inform this to the director that, sir, we are not getting any resource for 20 LPA. The resources they're asking for 25 LPA. Okay. Now, here the politics comes into picture. Your director will tell that, okay, fine, hire them for 25 LPA, but their budget is 20 LPA and they're ready to give 25 LPA. That is why you might have heard last year, someone who has 2 years of experience, they got 27, 28, 30 LPA. Earlier, this was never possible. But sometimes generally what happens, you have genuine cases as well. But sometimes what happens, they will give you 25 LPA. You will be very happy that, yes, I got 25 LPA. And they will allocate the project to you. Okay. And at the same time, listen very carefully. At the same time, your recruitment team is searching for other resource for 20 LPA. Once they will get that resource for 20 LPA or 18 LPA, they will do all the negotiations. Then after that, they will fire that resource of 25 LPA. This happens. They will give either that we are doing the restructuring, we are not performing well, our revenue is decreasing, blah, 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 and they will fire you. Even you will be thinking that my performance was good, even then why I fired. Is this scenario clear? Okay,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
happens. Okay, this is very common. So when sometime company is giving pure expectation, I tell it clearly, be alert. Okay, don't think that it is very useful for you, because you have to be alert in those cases. Okay. Now, second thing, when they take interview, when they have urgent requirement, and sometimes they will tell you that, okay, we are ready to give 20 LPA, we cannot cross that limit. In those cases, product manager will tell to the recruitment team that, do one thing, don't check for all the skill sets. In your JD, if you have mentioned 10 skill sets, even if a candidate even if a candidate knows 5 skill sets or 4 skill sets, hire them. Don't worry, we will train them after we will hire them. Okay, this is again one scenario. Now, you guys, what you will do, you receive that mail from the naukri.com or in the LinkedIn that, okay, we company ABC, we want this particular data analyst or data engineer, we want this 10 skill sets. So you saw that, okay, it is 10 skill sets. Oh my God, I know only 5 of them. If I will apply, for sure they will reject me. Most of you think like this, I know this. Don't ever do that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever do that. I'm telling you, even if you know 3 of them, 4 of them, go and apply. Is this clear? Because even the company, even the HR knows that I will never get a candidate who knows all the 10 skill sets. You tell me, how many of you in this group knows Java, Python, Unix, SQL, all these things? You will hardly find a resource. Yeah, tell me, Naveen.
Sir, is it like if you're having at least, I mean, basically what I observe is they'll have something called as mandatory skills, something like preferable skills. So does this hold good even for mandatory skills? Let's say they're having 4 skills in
Yeah.
mandatory, I have only 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about mandatory only.
Okay.
I'm talking about mandatory only. Okay. You can try this. Okay. I'm telling you guys, you can try this. Okay.
Sure, sir.
So all this politics, I'm telling you, this happens. Okay. So in the mandatory skill, if they have mentioned 10 skills, if you know 40% of that, please go ahead and apply. Okay, go ahead and apply. After that, they will check the interview. Now, this is the first step. Okay, don't worry about that. Either you will be rejected. So again, you have to think where you are lagging. You have to work on that. But even if you know 40% or 50%, you apply, because even the company knows that I will not get a resource who knows all the 10 skill sets what I have mentioned. Is this clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, coming to your resume, second mistake what most of you do, because when we take interview, what will happen? Our that product owner or the HR, no, they will send us 10 resumes of 10 candidates. Okay. Now imagine this scenario. I have a lot of official tasks. Okay. They suddenly HR send me 10 resume and they told me that Tanvir, these are the 10 resume we have received from some vendor. Please select what all are eligible candidate. Now I want you guys to share your thoughts. What do you think? How much time I will spend on each resume? Any thought, guys?
Basically,
1
look
minute
for the
max.
keywords.
30 minutes.
Sir, 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes per
Any other thought?
You be
Okay.
specific for the mandatory requirement.
Okay. I hardly spend 20 to 30 seconds. I'm telling you frankly, 20 to 30 seconds. Yeah, I have a lot of official tasks. My timesheet is pending. I have not filled my appraisal. Okay, I have to give KT session to the freshers. I have to do the code review. Why will I spend time? I'm telling you very frankly and honestly. I spend hardly 20 to 30 seconds, because if I will click on the resume, it will take 5 seconds to open. Correct? Then I will go to the download folder. Then from there I have to open it. I'm telling you all the practical scenarios. I take hardly 20 to 30 seconds to look at a resume. Okay. Why I'm telling this story? What you guys do, you will prepare one resume, and for all the JD, whatever it may be, you will share that resume. I'm sure you all will agree you are doing this, right?
True,
Please
true, sir.
don't do
Right.
this. Yeah, please don't do this. Okay. That's why I tell you all think that, okay, if I will become master in SQL, I will get a job. No, it's not like that. Mastering in SQL is good, or mastering in Python is good. But apart from that, many other things are there that is required. That is why we go for buffet, no? Apart from main course, we are getting dessert, we are getting salad, we are getting that starters and all those things, right? That is why we are going for buffet. Same thing is your interview process. You are concentrating only on the skill sets as a main course, but your interviewer will check for dessert, starters, and all those things as well. The soft drinks, the cold drinks, many other things. So don't prepare only one resume, okay? And when you're preparing a resume, don't write all the story. We don't have. Check with any other recruiter. Nobody will spend more than 1 minute. I bet you check with them, because everyone has a lot of tasks in the project. Okay. So now how to prepare resume, I will come to that part after some time if time permits today. Now, so whenever you get an email or in the LinkedIn that, okay, there is an opportunity, hold on there. First of all, check what they're looking for. Okay. Now in the JD, the mandatory skills, whatever they have mentioned, copy it, Control C from the JD and Control V in your resume. Do this exactly same thing. Because when we analyze the resume, same thing we do. Control C from the JD, Control F in the resume. I will search whether this particular word is present in your resume or not. That's all. Okay. So you have to make your resume as per the JD. Don't circulate the same resume in all the job profiles. Nowadays, we have that automated system which scans your resume, and many times it will reject it blindly. Is this clear? First of all, so you have to
Yes.
prepare your resume as per the JD profile of the company for which you are applying. First of all, make it clear. Read the JD. That is why many of you, when you approached me that, Tanvir, I have the interview, can you guide me? So the first question I'm asking to you guys is, can you please share the JD? Right? Because if I don't know what is the expectation of company, how I can tell you what questions they will ask in the interview, correct? So that is why, first of all, ask for the JD. Even if some recruiter is sharing the interview, sometimes it happens they will call you They will tell you that, okay, we want this skill sets. Do you have? You will tell yes. They will tell you, okay, tomorrow we are scheduling the interview, right? This happens. First of all, ask them that, can you please share the JD, madam? Madam or sir, anyone? They will share the JD for sure. According to the JD, work on your resume. Again, don't lie in resume. Okay, don't lie, because we recruiters, I will tell you one story. Okay, last year happens. One of my student, he got a job of data analyst in the Capgemini. Okay, he posts a lot of content in the LinkedIn. I know him. I will not tell the name. He posts a lot of content in LinkedIn. He got a job of data analyst, but he has taken a fake experience later. Same thing happened day before yesterday as well. One candidate called me that, Tanvir, I have been given a fake experience letter. Now the company terminated me. All those things happens. I always tell, don't show fake letters, because companies, they know how to handle it. So he approached me, Tanvir, this happens in Capgemini. I am in Bangalore. The manager called me and they told, you have shown the fake experience letter. I told him, don't make any story. Tell them that I am very sorry. I was looking for a job like anything. I was having financial constraint. I will never do it again. Apologize it, because your HR managers, they're doing this task daily. You cannot fool them. He apologized. Okay. And finally they told, okay, fine. Because the company has spent a lot of money in hiring you. You don't know. Lakhs of rupees they spent on hiring one resource. Okay. So you have to work on your resume, prepare the resume as per the JD. Hope it is clear. This point is clear, guys.
Yes.
Okay. But don't lie. Don't show fake experience letter. That is the big mistake you will do. Don't lie in your resume. Because when I go through the resume, and if someone has mentioned 10 skills, sometime I will go through the LinkedIn profile. Some candidate will write, I know SQL, Python, Unix 10 times, Microsoft certification, 100 times Amazon certification. How it is possible? Yeah, it is beyond imagination, right? So that is not possible. So when I will see in the resume, someone has mentioned all the skill sets, I will understand that either he is making me fool or he is fooling himself. That is not possible. So write honestly whatever you know. Okay. Now you have to, I will take a session on the resume part, how to create that and all those things. Okay. How to work on the resume. Don't tell all the stories. What roles and responsibilities you have to write. If you're preparing resume of data analyst, what you have to mention. Data engineer, what you have to mention. And your resume must not be more than 2 pages. Okay, we don't have time to scan through all the 3 or 4 pages of your resume. Only 2 pages, max. Okay. Now you have prepared your resume. Now you have the interview scheduled. Now, how to answer the question in the interview? First thing I told, in the JD, if they have mentioned 10 skill sets in the mandatory, if you know 40% of that, please go ahead and apply. First point is clear. Second point, I will make a note of all these things, and maybe Naveen will be making a note. So the second point is what it was the second point here. You have to work on your resume as per the JD. Okay, don't share same resume in all the job profiles. Okay, now you have automated system who scans the resume and they will either accept it or reject it. Okay, now third thing, you have your interview scheduled. Now, the very common question and the purpose why I kept this session. Right now, most of the project in the IT industry is based on which project? Do you have any idea? Anyone, any idea?
Capital markets.
Capital markets. Okay. Any other?
Related to finance.
Finance. No, domain I'm not asking. I'm asking the technology landscape.
Database.
Data? Big data?
Data. Now you are living in the era of data, ladies and gentlemen. I remember 2011 when I started my career, everyone was learning Java. Those maybe if you are from that era, you might know. 11 till 14, 15, everyone wants to work on Java, everyone wants to learn Java. After 13, in 14, there was a era of big data. I remember at that time I have given a session in Infosys, Chennai. on the big data, that how big data works, how mapper work, how reducer works, what is primary node, what is secondary node, what is SGFS, what is Hadoop, and all those things. Okay, because I was very much interested in the data field since the beginning, because I was a little bit strong in mathematics. So numbers, I always like to play with the numbers. So never I moved away from the SQL or the Python or from the data field. Okay. So currently your entire IT industry is working on the data. Your machine learning, it is working on top of good quality of data. If the data is not of good quality, you cannot do anything with the good machine learning algorithm or the architecture. Your AI, artificial intelligence, it works on good data. A recommendation engine, it works on good data. Data scientists, they works on good data. So that is why for all this job profile, the basic is data engineer. That is why data engineer is in huge demand, because data engineers are the one who knows how to transform the data, who knows how to enrich the data, everything. Okay, so that is why data engineers are in huge demand, because if the data is of good quality, then only you can do the analysis, no? Then only you can show on the reports, right? So currently you are in the era of data. Most of the project is based on the data, because the front end thing is almost is like a stagnant. Like you have a lot of resources who can create websites, apps, and all those things. Okay, and data related job profile is again very complicated, because you have to play with the numbers, you have to analyze it, you have to slice and dice it, right? So for that, first of all, now the next question what I get is, Tanveer, I am working in the support team. Okay, my task is to handle tickets. Tanveer, I am working in the operations team. I am working in the sales team for 5 years, for 6 years, for 7 years. Okay. Now, Tanveer, if I will go to the data analyst job profile, they will take me as a fresher, and that will impact my salary. I think many of you have this question. Am I correct?
Yes,
Right?
correct. Yeah.
Yes,
Many of you have this question. Now listen very carefully. This is the main agenda. You know, interviewers, the recruitment team, the HR team, they are the big liars. I'm telling openly, okay? If they need the resource, they're ready to pay anything. So why you guys are not playing with them? You guys also play with them. Never ever tell them that you have not worked on a data related job profile. First of all, make one thing clear. Your company, your background check team, they will never go to your previous organization manager or the stakeholders, and they will tell them, they will ask them that, okay, tell me that in this project, what was the roles and responsibilities of Tanveer? They will never ask this question. The background team, they will only check whether Tanveer has worked in this company or not. That they will verify. Your mark sheet, they will verify. Your experience letter, they will verify. These are all things they will verify. But they will never go to the previous company that Tanveer has worked on these roles and responsibilities or not. First of all, make it clear, guys. Okay. Now, in your interview, you have to go with full confidence that yes, I am Mr. Tanveer. I have worked in this data related job profile, irrespective of the matter that you have worked as a data entry operator. Hope it is clear. Now,
Yes.
in interview, in because why I'm telling this, if you have 5 years of experience as a sales team, so you are a champion in sales team, you have won a lot of deals for the company. You're working in operations team, you're working in the support team, not on the data related job profile. Even if you're very strong in SQL, you learn SQL now, you learn Python now, and when you will appear for interview now, and the moment you will tell that you have never worked on the data related job profile, even if the recruiter or the interviewer knows that he is very brilliant, they will never give you that package. And they will give that argument that, sorry, you have never worked in this job profile, so we have to train you. It will take time, and blah, blah, blah. They will give excuse, and they will give you the lower band of that lower band of that salary package, because the product manager, okay, they have a salary bandwidth that, suppose if they're looking for a data analyst, they have the bandwidth that, okay, we have to give from 25 LPA to 30 LPA. Between this, if the candidate is very strong, very smart, they will give that upper bucket 30 LPA. If they will think that, oh no, he's not that much strong, they will give 25 LPA. Okay, so if you will tell that no, I've never worked on the data editor job profile, they will give you that 25 LP and you will be happy that, oh, I got this data analyst job profile, right? So never tell them. Tell them that yes, I was working in the operations team, but I was working in the database of that. I will tell you how to tell that story. Okay, this is not that much easy. For that, now your interview will start. Okay, the HR, they have scheduled the interview. Your interview will start. First point, what I told, even if you know 40% of the JD, apply for that. Second point, work on your resume. Modify the resume as per the JD. Okay. Third point. Third point is, if you have not worked in any data editor job profile, you have to project that you have worked. How you have to project? Your interview is started. Okay. Then what was your roles and responsibilities? This is the first question. Or maybe they will ask you, tell me about yourself. Okay. So that is a lot of answers you will get on net. That's what you will tell about yourself and all those things. They will ask you roles and responsibilities. Okay. Roles and responsibilities you have to tell in such a way that it should reflect that yes, Mr. Tanveer has worked in a data related job profile. Okay. Now, how that will happen? So your answers, whatever answer you will be giving, that must carry the flavor of data projects. Okay, then only your interviewer will trust you. Got it? Suppose if you are appearing for data engineering role, they will ask you what is ETL. Suppose, okay. You will tell that ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. They will tell you, okay, please brief it. You will tell in extraction, we extract data from multiple sources, then we transform it as per the business logic, and then we will load it. If you will tell this definition, still they will think that, okay, maybe from Google, he has by heart this and he is just telling this in the interview. Now the game starts here. Here you can do all the things. What all questions they are asking, you have to take care that your answer must carry the flavor of project, not the ready-made definitions. How you have to answer this question, I will tell you. Similarly, all the questions I will tell you how you have to answer. But net thing is, at that moment, forget that you're working as an operations team. Please forget that you're working in a support team. Or maybe you're working in any bank as a data entry operator. Forget that. Okay. You tell them that ETL is like I have worked on this project for a long time. In this, what happens? We used to get data from multiple sources. We have a lot of sources. In the previous project in which I have worked, we used to get data from 20 sources. Okay. So the data what was sent from the 20 sources, they all was sent on a daily basis. So my task was to get the data from the source team. And before that, I have attended a requirement gathering call with the business stakeholders. Okay. And in the requirement gathering call, we have a discussion with the business stakeholders at what exactly is the requirement. We get the requirement from them. And once I get the requirement, I will mention all the requirement in a FRD document or any other document. Okay, then we have a sign off of the requirement. Then we have a discussion with the source team that what all data they will be sending. And then my responsibility is to understand that in which format they will send data. Okay, what will be the frequency of data? And that data will be ad hoc on a daily basis and all those things. Okay, so then I used to get the data from the source team. I used to validate the data from the source team. So see, you have to tell each and every nut and bolt of the system. If you will tell in this detail now, even if you have not worked, you are in a bench for the last 2 years, this will prove that, oh, he knows each and everything. It means for sure he has worked in this project. Is this clear? So far, any question anyone has?
No.
Clear.
Okay. So never ever give ready-made answers. And I know for that you have to work hard. It's not a magic. You have to understand what you have to answer. Okay, for that you have to work hard. You have to understand what answers you have to give. So maybe like those who have attended ETL classes, you all are my existing students, you know that. In ETL classes, how we have discussed that we have
Fully
discussed
agree, Tanveer.
each and every scenario, right? That in extraction, what will happen if the file is not received? If you guys remember, then I have told you that in that case, what you have to do. If duplicate file is received, Then what you have to do now, imagine if all those scenarios, if you will tell in the interviewer will trust you blindly that, oh, he knows this much minute details, for sure he has worked in that project. Now, suppose if they're asking you a question from SQL that, okay, tell me about minus keyword. Okay, minus, you all know we have studied, right? You
Yeah.
tell them that minus is used when I have data, like in my project, I was having data in the source team and we move the data into the target source layer. We move the data into the target layer. I have used the minus keyword there just to confirm the data which what all are present in the source has been migrated to the target or not. Now here, don't tell that ready-made answer, please. Don't tell that minus is used to find the records which is present in one table but not present in another table. Don't ever tell this answer. Tell them with explanation that, okay, yes, I have used this keyword very often in my project. In one of the project, we're having a lot of data in the source table. We used to move that data into the target table. So I used to validate that all the data has moved correctly or not. So I used to write the query, select columns from the target table minus select columns from the source table, and I will get the list of the call or a list of the data which is missing in the target, which is present in the target but missing in the source, and vice versa. Then tell them, but yes, this has one limitation that minus has inbuilt distinct functionality, right? You all know that minus has inbuilt distinct functionality. If there is a duplicate, minus will ignore that and we miss it. So for that, what we used to do is we check the count as well before that. And for that, I perform select columns from target minus select columns from source. Then I check source minus target as well. So tell them all this story that, yes, I have used this in my project. This is a limitation of this keyword. We cannot use minus in the scenarios of duplicate. Before using minus, I have to check count as well. Are you getting? So these all
Yeah.
things, when you will tell in the project, this will make a sense that, oh, yes, he has worked in the project. Even if your interview is not that much strong, if technically, if you're not that much strong, if you will add the flavor of project, this will give a sense that, oh, this guy has worked in this project. Is this clear? So each and every question what they're asking, I'm especially telling if you want to project yourself from non-IT to IT, or you have worked in operations team, you work in support team, you work in sales team for 5 years, 6 years. Now imagine if you will tell them that you have worked in this job profile, you have never worked on the data related job profile. So they will tell that, okay, fine, we will not give you that much salary. You will be in loss. That will be huge loss. Okay. So all your answers must carry the flavor of project. That is why the minus what I told you, if you remember, same thing I have told you when I was teaching this. The limitations of minus, if you remember that, I've told you that this is a limitation of minus. It has the inbuilt distinct functionality. That is why it will not give you the duplicate records. Is this clear? Any question so far?
No, sir.
No, everything clear.
Okay. Now for this, what you have to do, those who have attended ETL class, now see, this is nothing like advertisement, nothing like that, because I know you all are my existing students, right? Now you have attended my ETL class, my SQL class. Now again, go through that. If you're serious, guys, okay, again, go through that. Now search for that flavor of project, wherever I added that. Now in your interviews, just add it. That's all. Game is over. The interviewer will trust you that, oh yes, he has worked in the data related job profile. Okay. Now the second question is that, fine, Tanvir, I answered this. My interview is good. I've answered all the questions of SQL and ETL. Even all the questions, it is not mandatory. And many times, it depends on the interviewer as well. Okay, I remember I have told in that last session the same thing. Once I was giving the interview of a company. Okay, the interviewer asked me question. I was giving the answer. It happened in 2019, something like that. Okay, 20, something around that. I was answering the question, but he was telling that each answer is incorrect. I understood that he has some agenda. Okay, and I was irritated at that moment. Okay, then after that, whatever he was asking, I was telling that, sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. So what happens? Your interview means it gets recorded. So the next day, HR called me and they told me they will schedule another interview for you. I told them that sorry, my yesterday interview was not good. Why you're conducting again? They told that no, we want to conduct again because they understood what happened. So many times the interviewers and his mood, his nature, this all also plays a role. Okay. So you have to add the flavor of project. For that, what you have to do, whatever I have taught, in that you have to find like the examples of projects, whatever I have given. See, this activity will save your 4, 5, 6 or whatever effort you have put in non-IT field. This will help you. Now you will be thinking that, okay, fine, then I will answer this, that, okay, I have worked in this project. I will give the full description. If they will ask about SCD, I will tell. If you guys remember in SCD type 1, type 2, type 3, what I have told, that a particular employee, he was in Delhi, he moved to Bangalore. If you're maintaining the history, you have to create a new record. Then you have an active flag, then you have audit columns. If you remember all those things I have discussed in the ATL classes, right?
Yes.
So if they're asking for SCD, if you will give all this description, you think within yourself that will prove or not that this guy has worked in this project. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to add the flavor of project. That is very important, and never tell them that I have not worked in the data related job profile. Now you might be thinking that Tanvir, okay, fine. If I will get the job offer, same thing happened 1 month back. One of my participants, he got a good job profile, data architect, and he was telling, I've never worked on that, Tanvir. I'm thinking what to do now. I told, don't worry, yaar. Once you got allocated to project, no, you will get trained and you will do it. Don't worry about that. The same thing happens in any project. Once the project will be allocated, you have a lot of online resources nowadays. You will Google it, you will get the answer. Don't worry about that. Even the team will train you, your seniors will train you. Okay, they will assist you on all this. Don't worry about that. Now the interviewer can ask you this question that, okay, fine, Tanvir, you're working in the sales team, then how you got all this knowledge about database? This is the twist. Here you have to tell that, yes, I was working in the sales team, but I was handling the database of sales team, because each and every department, they have their database. HR, they have their own database. Sales team, they have their own database. Operations team, they have their own database, right? Hope you all will agree with this. Even if even your local department store, they have their database, right? You go to that a big bazaar or Reliance or what all malls are there, they have their own databases, right? They're working on that. And that's a different thing. They're working on Excel or whatever it may be. But each and every department, they have their own database. If you're working in sales team and an interviewer is asking question that you're working in a sales team, so what you have done as a data analyst there, tell them that yes, I was working as a sales team. So my responsibility was to handle the database, because we were getting a lot of proposals, a lot of deals from multiple customers, clients. We have investors, right? So all the data was stored in my database. I was working on the Oracle. I'm taking the classes on Oracle, right? Tell them that I was working on the Oracle database. I used to get data from the multiple other departments. Okay, they used to give the data, and my responsibility was to load the data, to analyze it, because sometimes my stakeholders or my project manager, the CEO of my company, the CTO of my company, they want to understand the increase in sales, the decrease in sales, the quarterly increase, the quarterly decrease. It was my responsibility to write a query and to give the data. Now tell me, this will work or not, right? So same thing you have to tell. Even if you're working as a sales team, you are selling credit card. Don't tell that I'm selling the credit card. Tell them that yes, my division was a credit card, retail banking. But what I was doing is I was keeping a track of how many credit card has been sold, how many defaulters are there, the number it has increased or not, it has decreased or not, and the total multiple information you can derive from that. Okay, so you have to project in this way. Is this clear? Do you have any question?
No, clear.
Clear, anyone? Any question, please?
Yeah, I have
No
one,
questions.
but it is not relevant from what you were talking about until now, Tanvir. Can I go ahead and
Yeah, please go ahead. Tell me.
thank you. Tanvir, you were talking about data engineers role, Tanvir. I mean, will this be will these roles be present even after like 3 years or 4 years also? Will it be in demand for a a prolonged period of time, or is it like only a
For
bubble?
no, 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 no. The market leaders. I think 2 days before, I was running a session with the Amazon team. Okay, the market leaders, they're expecting that this data related job profile will stay in market for the next 10 years at least, because all the hot jobs in the IT industry, like data scientist, machine learning, artificial intelligence, recommendation engine, everything is working on top of data. But that is why, at least for the next 10 years, this is in demand. And one thing I'm telling you, there is a scarcity of resource who are good in playing with the numbers. That is why nowadays companies, they are telling the recruitment team that even if you know that the person knows 40% SQL, 50% SQL, hire them. So actually there is a scarcity of resource who knows good SQL. You remember the last week Gopinath has taken the session,
True.
right? So what he was telling, he told that 70% weightage was given to the SQL. Correct. Many of my participants, when they're giving the interview, they're telling the same thing, that 60-70% weightage they're giving to the SQL. And they will just check the other things, that if you know the basics of that, they will hire you. Why? Because they know the tools, they can train you in 2 or 3 days. You can learn it and you can start working on it. But the skill sets, SQL, Python, Java, C, mainframe, and all the Unix, this, it takes time to learn. So that is why I always recommend my participants, don't ever trust any tool. Learn the skill sets. Even now, if you find a job for Java, you will get the job for Java, for .NET, for C, for C++, C Sharp, you will get it. Okay, but if you will ask after 5 years that I want a job on based on that informatic or talent, nobody knows will you will get or not, right? So always make your skills, core skill sets strong. Okay, always work on that. Fine. Any other question do you have?
What is mainframe, Sanveer? I mean, you talked about this couple of times, but I never dared to ask you. So
Mainframe, there's a language COBOL. Okay, so mainframe, I have worked on it long back, but it is not in much demand. If anyone is planning to learn it, I will tell not to learn it. It is not in much demand nowadays. Most, but the best part about mainframe is it is very secure. And the language is very simple. COBOL language is very simple, but a lot of steps are there, but that it is not in demand these days. Okay,
Okay.
so you cannot, no need to learn it. Earlier it was in huge demand. Okay, so always
last
be
question.
with the market. Yeah.
Thank you. Tanveer, most of the times when I see things on LinkedIn, I mean, scrolls on LinkedIn, I get to see AWS and Azure. My question is Snowflake relevant in the future also? Because not many people are talking about Snowflake today, at least in Indian markets.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
See, first I will tell you one thing. Cloud, yeah, cloud is the future, no doubt. Okay, cloud is the future. And that is why all the market players, Amazon, your Microsoft, your Google, your Oracle, everyone is moving on the cloud because they know this is the future. Okay, but if you're starting, okay, if you are trying to do a transition to the IT industry, first of all, pick the core skills. First of all, get an entry into the IT industry. Okay. And for that is not required that you should know everything. That is what I told you. Even if you know 40%, you will get an entry into the IT industry. Okay. So, but that is fine. Yes, Snowflake is also in huge demand. Then your all the cloud platforms are in huge demand. But first of all, learn this basic things. Get an entry to the IT industry, and then even the companies will train you. Okay. Now, when I was working with one service-based companies, they used to give vouchers. They will tell you that, okay, if you will complete this certification, we will give you 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees vouchers and all these things as they give, because they will tell you that, okay, learn these technologies. Okay, so don't worry about that. Pick some limited thing first of all. Make an agenda that, okay, I have to be strong in SQL, ATL or Python. 2 or 3 things is sufficient. Crack the interview, get an entry, and then keep on learning there. Keep on evolving there. Okay. Second thing, very important. Nowadays, everyone is a guru. Everyone is giving lectures on LinkedIn. Okay, I know many those who are very new to the IT industry, even for the followers or whatever it may be, they are giving their suggestions, their thoughts, and all those things. I appreciate it. But my recommendation to everyone, always take suggestions from the expert of that particular field. If you will take suggestions from me about the medical science, I'm very poor. I will give you some suggestions, but it's your mistake why you are taking suggestions from me. So that is why I will see if someone will post that, okay, for data analyst, we need our language, we need we need a statistics and all these things. No, oh my God, these all things are good if you have, but first of all, you have to work on the basics. No, basics is SQL, Excel, Python, and any reporting tool. That's all. You will get a data analyst job profile. It's my guarantee, 100%. I'm telling you. But I will see many people will write, you should know R, you should know statistics, you should know the many other analyzing tools and all these things. So you will get frustrated. Oh my God, how many things I have to study? Okay. So never trust all the posts of LinkedIn, whatever you are getting. Okay. So do you have any other question, anyone?
Hi, Tanvir. I
Yeah,
one
hi,
question. Recently, in the previous session, you said, like, I don't know, just on LinkedIn, be connected with a scientist, data scientist, who say about the SQL or the support functions. For example, I'm referring to the recursive city session. So how do we, how do I know when are they conducting such session?
I don't have
When are there, and any recommendations or any links would you recommend, so that we'll keep in mind or keep an eye on the next available session that they conduct? That is my question. Thanks, Tanvir.
Okay. What recursive CT you told? Okay, so today in the session, what I told about that, right? That's what you're telling, that when they conduct those sessions, correct?
True.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Very important thing. Actually, what happened now? Earlier, I'm telling you very frankly about me. When I was started this career in the IT industry, I'm from electronics background. I never liked the IT industry, so that's why I never went into that what I can say, the front end applications. I played with the numbers always. So whenever in the company they conduct this kind of session, I always used to skip it. Okay, I never liked it. I remember once I attended a session with one of the Citibank stakeholders. Okay, and they were telling the details about all the tables, all the columns they have. I know those who are working into the tables and the columns. If I will ask you that, do you know the functional importance of each and every column? I know many of you will tell that, sorry, I don't know, right? Same thing happened. I was working in Citibank. A lot of calculations were there, financial calculations, retail and wholesale, credit card and loans, mortgages, everything. We are working on that, but we never know what is the functional importance of this. That guy came, he told that this column has this importance, this column has this importance. I was very much surprised. I thought that, oh my God, we should always attend these sessions, especially with the leaders, with the scientists, or with the support team of any like Oracle, or Amazon, or any other firm. Okay. Similarly, I attended one session. A guy was there who was telling everything about the finance. So I was very much impressed. So for that, first of all, always attend this session. You will get to know how internally thing works. And that helped me a lot to get some strong expertise on SQL, like how I explained in the class that, okay, after this is executed, this will take a temporary memory, this will go there, and all those things, right? We learned a lot from them. They will take the session and they will tell us. For that reason, what I will suggest, you follow, at least I spend half an hour or 1 hour daily on the LinkedIn. For that, what you have to do, first of all, follow all those leaders in the LinkedIn. Okay, all those scientists of those farms on the LinkedIn. So you will get a notification, okay, when they're conducting those sessions. They will tell you about those sessions. And in your companies also, I'm not sure whether they're conducting or not. So, but many times they used to conduct those sessions with those the support team or the scientists of those organizations. So must attend them. Okay, so you will get a broader view of the technologies of the things, how it is working. But the best thing nowadays, I think LinkedIn, it has a lot of webinars are happening. I used to comment there as well. So those who are following me will get the notification. That is the one way is one. You can get the notification for that.
Okay. Thanks, Tanvir.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Fine then. Any other question do you have, guys? I will take another session.
Hi,
Yeah,
Tanvir.
Ronak. Yeah, please tell me.
Yes, I have just one
Yeah,
question.
Ronak, please go ahead. Yeah.
So I just one question, like since you just said that we need to, like after learning all the concepts and the core concepts, we just need to fit it somewhere in the a virtual project, or we need to showcase. So like how can we, like from where and how can we arrange that projects? I mean the virtual projects, because conceptuals are fine, like they are good, but how can we showcase in terms of the projects, like because if we are not having a real-time exposure,
See,
so where to
in
get,
an
I mean
interview,
how to showcase and from where to get that projects, because we don't have that real-time experience in the projects.
that's what I'm telling. An interview, if interview is asking that question, so how you will convince? You will convince only when during the interview, what are questions they're asking. If those questions answers, if you are giving from the project perspective, that where you have implemented that in the project, like minus I told you, you have to tell where you implemented that in the project. If they're asking about the window functions, rank and dense rank, or the row number, you have to tell them that where you have implemented. That's why for each and every keyword of SQL, try to learn, try to understand that where in the project we can use it. Okay, what can be the scenarios for this? That is more than enough. That is sufficient. Okay, your interviewer will trust on that. Okay, is
Hi,
that
sir.
clear?
Hi, sir. I'm Sandeep here.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Sir, I have also one doubt. I am frequently contact with my another friends who are already working in data, like in the big product-based company. So they told me that in the fresher they also asked the question related to guesstimates and case studies. So can you please elaborate how to prepare for that? Guesstimates and case study that are basically essential in many companies like EXL, IQVIA, and EY. I have three referrals, so they all three just told me to prepare for that.
Correct. You apply for data analyst, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Means in next month I will apply. I have two to three referral. So I have.
That is for data analyst, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that will take good amount of time to explain you estimates, how to make that and the case study. Okay. So what I will do, can I take this in the next session? Because again, next session will not be sufficient because I have to give you for the full explanation for that. Let you plan it, okay, for the next session. Or else, Sandeep, I will do one thing. When you have interview scheduled?
In next month. It depends on me.
Next month. Okay.
Yes, sir. I am currently working
so either I will take next session on this, or I will take a separate session with you. I will tell you quickly, okay, what you have to do for that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. But I don't think that will be a showstopper. Okay. Yeah, Ritesh, tell me.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm from IB operations background, so I am planning to move to BA role. So any idea how can I showcase my projects in this BA interview?
BA interview, BA business analyst.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier, no, I'm telling you around 2016-18, the BA role was, the companies, they look for someone who is very strong in the functional domain only, okay?
Yeah.
But nowadays, for the BA role, they're looking for techno-functional. Okay, it means you should be technically strong as well as you should have the functional knowledge. Okay. For that BA role, and this is again a very good shortcut path for non-IT to enter the IT industry. Okay, one of my participants is working right now in Cognizant Pune. I told you the same thing, that first of all, get an entry to the IT industry. The shortest path is either BA or the ETL tester. Okay, you will get an entry. And after that, I suggested work on that data analyst role, means try to gather that skill sets, apply for the IJP, internal job posting, and you will be switched from business analyst to data analyst, and then apply in any external company. Now, for business analyst, the company is, first of all, you should be strong in the in their domain. Like if you're applying for financial company, you should know how the finance world works. Okay.
Right.
Then you should be strong in SQL. That is very important. And then Excel, and then any reporting tool, either Power BI or Tableau. For BA, Python is not required much. Okay. So that is why I recommend business analyst is the shortest path. Now, for that, if you have to showcase the projects, okay, like on which you have worked. So this part, like you first of all check the company in which you are applying. That works in which domain? Finance domain. It's life science. It's in insurance. It is energy, automobile, manufacturing, food and beverages. What exactly it is?
It's in
And
capital
then
market.
accordingly, oh, capital market. Okay.
Yeah.
So do one thing. I'm telling you the best way for that. Okay. In Google, find some of the best companies who deals in the capital market. I think your BlackRock also deals with the capital market. No?
Right.
BlackRock is there, and then I think a few more names. Morgan Stanley is also there, right?
Morgan Stanley, JPM, Credit Suisse.
JPM, yeah. So do one thing for these companies. Okay, I'm telling you a very shortcut thing. Okay, for these companies, open their first of all Google page. Check in which domain they are working, what are their core areas, okay, or the company for which you are applying. Okay, check their core areas. Okay, and those core areas first of all get a strong hold at how it works, how the finance world on this. Like I was working on the investment team, so I know all the cycle of investment, how it works, how we take the money from investment team, what is the commitment percentage, what is the realized amount, what is the unrealized amount, what is the transfer pricing, and all those things. Okay, because I have played a role of business analyst as well for 2 years. So those are all things I know a little bit. So you first of all gather all the functional knowledge of this. Okay. Now based on this, make a hypothetical virtual project. So maybe if you will connect with me, I will tell you how you can create a project on that, a virtual project. Like, okay, you have worked on this, that will showcase. But if you're applying for this, you must do this activity. That company in which you're applying, check their functions in which they work, collect all the knowledge from that Investopedia, and many other sites are there. That those finance sites like Bloomberg, Investopedia, many others are there. A wealth site is there. So gather all the functional details, finance details from them. Okay, that how the capital market works and all those things.
Okay.
And then get this knowledge. Okay, and then on top of it, I will help you that how you can create a virtual project that I have worked at how the capital market works, where we have invested in all those things. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Is that fine? Is that clear?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, fine then, guys. We will connect the next session, and I will. Okay, any suggestions in the next session? What you want?
Tanvi, this side Ashish. Can we have can we have any sample resume where the SQL expertise
that
and
is
the
in my
keywords?
list.
Yeah,
that is in my list. Yes. Any other?
Hi, sir. Sir, next session related to basically guesstimates on case studies, and other thing, a small introduction of the ETL. Like some of us people who are only enrolled in the SQL course, so we get some flavor of the ETL as a small introduction how to work.
Okay, but ETL, if I will start, I know you guys will keep on asking questions and it will take a lot of time. But fine, I will try to take a session on ETL. That is fine, accepted.
Yes, sir. Okay. But you must discuss basically case studies and guesstimates.
Case study and estimates, Sandeep, I will do one thing. I know that will not be helpful for everyone. I will do one thing. I will schedule a separate session for those who are interested in that. Okay, because case study estimates, it's not helpful for everyone, or maybe it's separate for you. I'll try to find some time slot. Okay.
Okay,
but ETL is fine. I know ETL will help everyone. Yeah.
Hi, Tanvir. Small question.
Yeah, please go
I
ahead.
just quickly flash into my mind. See, I worked on a permanent position for like 6 months, 3 months, and then there were some gaps. I didn't took any contract positions. So recently, when we had our site in the early morning, I got a call from the recruiter, and he was going through going for a permanent position. He asked me, "Your resume has got a hell lot of gaps. Why did you do that?" So I've been giving him various reasons. Because one reason for one company I've given like due to the project that I was working, the funding was no more there. And then he asked me, "Okay, that's fine." And then the second company, again the same thing he asked. Then I said, "Yes, I was me or the supervisor with whom I'm working. Uh, he uh, he wished to open a consultancy, and then he plans to get a new project, and then and he left, so I left. That's how I've given. Uh, so basically, the recruiter, by looking at the gaps, is saying like that is what a gray area on my resume. So I was looking for your recommendation. How do I nail it by covering everything? We have gaps, no matter down the line or at the present. So how do we cover? How do we convince it? Yeah, we've talked about SQL, everything we have, but what to go beyond that line, we need to convince it. That's my
Okay,
question.
gaps in what sense? Like you joined a company and then after 6 months you dropped, you were not working anywhere, then you joined some other company. Is this gap you're
Yeah.
talking?
Yes, I've resigned it and then moved on. And that's the gap. And finding a permanent position again, it takes some time because of the market, the place where I am is it takes some time to find a permanent position. I was just only focusing on the permanent position. That's why, and that's why the gaps built up. And that's if a person reviews my resume, yeah, of course. Uh, he'll ask the same question.
Okay,
And I've been
okay.
answering the same thing.
See,
Like, this next time I want to change it. Yeah, just looking for your recommendations.
see, actually, no, actually, I'm telling you from company perspective. If you sometimes have to wear the shoes of the recruiter as well. Okay. Actually, what happened when we hire a resource? Okay, we hired a resource, and that takes a lot of effort. Then we train them, and he will work for 4, 5, 6 months or 1 year. Then he will leave the company. It happens many times. That becomes a very what I can say like a big headache for us. You know all this story, right? You are
Yeah.
hiring a resource, you're spending a lot of money, you're training him, and once he is getting, because it takes around 3, 4 months to understand a project, right? Sometimes 1 year is a project. Once you have established, you left that company, right? This is a big headache for any company. Okay. So that's why the HR, they will check this, that how consistent you are. Okay. So sometimes you have to understand by wearing the shoes of the second, the third person as well, right? That's why
Yes.
they check it, that how consistent you are. Many times what happened, one of my friend was in the previous organization. In 5 years of experience, he has done 6 switches. So then he went to the new company, and the new company told that, okay, I will hire you only when you will sign a bond that you will stay with us for 2 years at least. Okay. So that's the reason the company asks for this. Now, how you have to answer, your answer must be in such a way that it should convince him that you will stay with them for a long time. Okay, this should be the motive of your answer. Is this clear, first of all? And why they ask this question, hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. So your answer must be in such a way that it should convince the interviewer or the HR or the manager that yes, they will hire you. Okay. Now, what you have to answer, you either tell them if you have some valid health issues, I'm not sure if anyone has that, or you tell them in this way that yes, I was working in this particular company ABC, then I have this gap. What I have done, because of some family constraints and all those things, I was living in the countryside. I was having family dependent, so I started my own business, something like that. Your own business. Don't tell that you started your own consultancy firm. Never ever tell this, okay? Because they will take that in some other angle. Because many times what happen, the company will recruit a resource, and that resource is working with a client. Now that particular resource will do some patch up with the client, and then he will start working with the client. This also happens many a times. Okay. Don't tell them that you started a consultancy firm or the IT field or you work for someone. No. Tell them that you are having some constraint, the family constraint. So you started a small like teaching thing or a small business, your own village or your town, or anywhere, and then it was working fine. But then it didn't went well. So then I thought to again join the IT industry. That's why. Okay, like this, you have to find some other excuse. But that excuse must be in such a way that it should prove that okay, that gap is valid. It is not like you are inconsistent. Whenever you want, you are working. If you don't want, you're leaving the job and you're enjoying your life. Okay, so your answer must be in this manner. Okay, so and when you tell that you worked somewhere, so that will prove that oh, this guy was in need of some constraints were there, some valid constraint was there. That is why he has this inconsistency. So that is what you try to prove. Or if you have some certifications, you can tell that okay, I was working on the certifications, I was upskilling in this area. So that's the reason this inconsistency is there. Or in your family, if someone has some medical concerns, like generally what happens, the father and mother and the grandfather, grandmother, they have some medical concerns, you can tell them that I was taking care of them because they're dependent on me. So if you give these reasons, no, that is fine, they will accept it. Okay. Yeah. Or else if you have any other concerns, you can connect with me.
Sir, I have one request to you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, please include me in the today ETL course in the which you are giving. I can't respond due to at my work, sir. And
we will give new vouchers on 26th January, Republic Day. So be ready for that.
Sir, I can start as I have interview in the next month. That's why I'm requesting to you. Otherwise, I will not.
Okay, connect with me. Connect with me on a personal window. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Tanvir, Shabaruz this side.
Yeah, Sabaruz, yeah, tell me.
Tanvir, I have the same question as Mohammed has put across, like how to handle such allegations, like if HR or recruiter says for a frequent job hopper, like maybe if there are certain constant also, suppose in 5 or 6 years, particular candidate has changed 6 or 7 jobs, it will be showing up in the work history. So in that case, sometimes our chances are less, or is this something that we can manage, or is there a certain set of answers that we can provide to them, like
That's what I told you. You have to give either your upskilling, okay, or you have to show if you have some valid health reasons, you can show that, or you can tell that yes, my family was dependent. Okay, I was so difficult for me to leave the family, so I started my own a small business, or I was teaching like that. You can tell them, but don't tell that you are faculty in some college. Then they will ask the certificates and all those things. That's why you can bypass. But generally, the interviewer or the HR asks this question just to do the negotiation in the salary. Once you will prove them that yes, you are technically you are good, they will hire you at any cost. Okay. So generally, these all excuses they will give just to negotiate on the salary part. This is the reason. But this is what you can tell. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Fine, guys. I have another session at 9. Okay. So evening batch. So fine then. We'll connect the next week. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.